truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm James Pledger. Appreciate you joining me. However you may be joining me, whether that's 94.1 on your FM dial, you have to be locked in listening live at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you happen to be watching live on our YouTube channel, that's right, we stream all of our shows live, whether that's the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob, the Blitz with Jason and Joe, and right here on Extra Innings with Pledger. All you got to do, go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star. Go ahead and like and subscribe while you're there. It helps out the algorithm. You can comment along with the show as it happens, as Fred Records, Jacob Barrick, Anthony Guerrero, and Fred Villarreal already up in the bullpen, or you can always feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Always love talking with y'all, but as you heard in my Sports Center update, the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame class has been announced for 2026, and going in this year, a slew of UTSA stars, including Frank Harris, Larry Coker, and track star Tamika Roberts-Nunez, along with Olympic swimmer James Fagan and the 1971 Class 4A state champion Lee Volunteer football team, all being inducted this year into the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame for the class of 2026. And earlier today on the Blitz, well, a couple of those San Antonio Sports Hall of Famers joined. James Fagan a little bit earlier in the program, and of course, UTSA legend Frank Harris. We're going to play you some of that Frank Harris interview from the Blitz a little bit earlier today, as he was so graciously inducted into the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame.
He is now officially a Hall of Famer. Frank Harris joining us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Frank, congratulations. What was the day like for you, my friend?
Man, I definitely appreciate y'all, and thank y'all for having me on. It was definitely a bittersweet moment for me. You know, I never thought I'd be inducted into the Hall of Fame, so just having it finally official, it definitely means a lot for me to be, you know, in the realms of all the legends that are in the Hall of Fame already, and even the class that I'm in. It just means a lot to me for sure.
So, Frank, when you get that phone call, them letting you know that you're a Hall of Famer, man, what is that like? Were you surprised that you said hello and they said, hey, guess what?
Man, so I was in Mexico with me and my girlfriend. We're going to we're doing a little getaway, and I was on my phone quite a little bit, you know, doing some work stuff, and I told her I was putting my phone away, and David Castro called me, and you know, he was like, hey man, I was like, dude, you know, I'm not supposed to be on my phone right now. I already got in trouble for being on my phone. What's up? She was like, man, I just want to let you know that you're going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, but you know, you can't tell nobody right now. So, you know, you tell me all those things, and we were just pulling up to our resort, and, you know, told my girlfriend we definitely got to celebrate now. So it was definitely a spectacular moment to hear those words, and nothing better than being on vacation and to hear that. So we definitely partied it up for sure.
Absolutely. It is quite the honor as we visit with Frank Harris here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. And Frank, you're going to have to help us out. Joe and I were debating earlier. How many years were you the starting quarterback there? 27, 37, 40? How many years were you quarterback in the Roadrunners?
Man, I was there for too long. I was there from 17 to 23. We only started from 2020 to 2023. Played in 3 games in 2019.
Well, dude, I promise you, if you still had eligibility, they'd welcome you back in a heartbeat. That's for sure.
Those days are over with, man.
Never say never.
Never say never, right? Yeah.
Never say never. And I've known you so long, man. In watching you in high school when you were at Clemens, that playoff game against Johnson, one of the more incredible individual performances in a high school game, because Johnson had you guys beat, and you by yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how fun is it now that you're this old retired dude and now Hall of Famer? Do you sit back and tell stories to those young whippersnappers?
Nah, it's funny you say that because, Coach Ritterman, he's over at Alamo Heights now, but I kid you not, every time I see him, he always tells somebody that story. He says he loves me, but he hated me when I played against him at Johnson and won that game. So it's always funny to hear him tell that story because, like you said, I thought that game was over with as well. But it's just cool now. I got nieces and nephews, and, my niece is a freshman at Clemens and my nephew's a seventh grader. So, I still talk to them like, hey, back in my heyday, I was pretty good. Y'all are getting a little older now, but don't let it fool you. I still got a little bit in me. So it's just funny to be that guy that's, the unk, to see somebody, like, man, here goes the old person talking about his good old glory days. And it's just funny that I'm kind of that guy now. I'm not that old yet. So I let my nephew know that don't get it twisted. I still got a little bit if you ever want to go if you want to try me in any sport. So I think he understands that now.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, I think, have you become a professional golfer yet, Frank?
Man, that's kind of what I'm gravitating towards. I know we played out there one time. We got to get back out there.
Yes, sir.
Point. But,
yes, sir.
Man, I love golf now. That's really what brings me joy now that I'm done playing a game of football. I think, golf is truly what I love doing. It brings a competitive spirit out of me, and going out there hanging out with my friends, man, it's nothing better than doing that.
Frank Harris joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Did Joe beat you on the golf course?
Man, he probably did. I don't know if we were keeping score because he probably was beating me by too much. So I probably told him to quit keeping his score and let's just have some fun.
So you're way too humble. If he would have won, he would have reminded you that he kicked your ass on the golf course.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice answer, Frank, and I appreciate that. But yeah, no, I think Frank he took me pretty good that day. Well, we were on his home course, man. I mean, come on. He had the home field advantage.
Yeah, I did. Well, is it your home course? Is it the Dominion, Joe?
No.
He's up that, man. He's the Dominion's a dog track where Joe likes to go play.
It was a lot of fun, though. We do need to get out there. We got James Pledger over here too. He's he claims to be pretty good, but he's all right. He's not bad.
Mm-hmm. I know, but I'm just there to drink beer and have fun.
Exactly.
Man. I know how that is.
That's all of us.
Frank, you go into a 2026 Hall of Fame class that's got a very, very UTSA feel to it, with Larry Coker getting inducted, Tamika Roberts-Nunez is getting inducted, Jimmy Fagan, who we talked to earlier, in the 1971 Lee football team that obviously won state, and so many of those guys still around. But having such a UTSA connection to the class, how cool is that for you as an individual?
Man, it was pretty cool to just walk in there, see Tamika. Of course, everybody knows who she is, and of course her husband and everything that they've done for UTSA. And then seeing Larry Coker, everybody knows he's a legend in UTSA history books. And then me just being a part of that, especially, I've done a small part of what they've done for the university in the city of San Antonio. So it was a huge honor. Also having Jimmy there as well. He was an Olympian. So it's an extreme honor to be, sitting beside those people, getting inducted in the Hall of Fame with them. It was truly an honor just to be in that room with them.
Now, do you know Jimmy at all? Have you known him before today?
I have never met him. We met today. We sat beside each other. He's a huge golfer himself. So, we definitely exchange numbers and definitely gonna get around to golf in here pretty soon.
And now I've got to ask, because I'm looking at some photos from the event today. It looks like you two twinned at this. Like you both showed up in the same suit. That wasn't coordinated ahead of time?
It was not. I just got his number, but whenever I walked in, I seen he had a little gray jacket on and some khaki pants like myself. So I was like, he's definitely a cool guy. We kind of dressed him. I like that.
All right, Frank, I got to talk a little football with you, man. How close are you watching what's going on at UTSA? And when you look at it, especially with how crazy college football is right now, I mean, they're working their tails off over there trying to get, enough money to field a team. But I tell you what, it's tough, isn't it?
Man, it's different nowadays. I mean, it's not even. I don't even know how to even say it. I mean, some players, they're out for just the money. So players are bouncing to this school, to this school, to this school. There needs to be some type of regulations on how many times you can transfer. My thing is, you go play college football to go enjoy college for sure. Get a degree, and then if everything plays out, you go play at the next level at the NFL. I just think nowadays these kids are just choosing schools based off of money. They just keep on jumping from school to school. It's like there's no loyalty. There's not the reasons why you go play college football. It's just sad to see, man. But Coach Trell is doing a great job of just trying to maintain the kids that we can keep and building a foundation and building a culture there at UTSA and hoping to have a great season this year.
Frank Harris here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Interesting hearing you say it that way, Frank, because you're not that far removed from it. In fact, kind of as the NIL stuff was starting, a little bit going into your pockets as well, and that was the way the game was played. But you also chose to stay for that 17th year here at UTSA, right? But I mean, because of the loyalty aspect of it, I mean, it's so, and you're not that far removed from it when you're out, because I know you do so much with UTSA, some in official roles and some just because you're Frank Harris and a good dude trying to help. The conversations that you have with athletes that are getting offered a lot of money, and it's hard to turn down a lot of money at a young age,
sure.
but kind of say, look, man, this is what college football needs to be for you, not just chasing that dollar that isn't going to be there forever.
For sure. And I talked to a lot of the guys trying to see, what is their goal? Is their goal to try to make it to the NFL or try to capitalize on money now and start in the real world? And for me, at that point, I kind of already knew that I really wasn't trying to go to the next level. And my thing for me, the best fit for me was to just stay at UTSA, build relationships here where I want to stay at for the rest of my life and just build off of that, right? So, I mean, it's easy. It would have been easy for me to try to put my name in the portal and go elsewhere for a year or two and get a lot of money and then try to move back to San Antonio. But then how I was looking at it was I may rub some people the wrong way, if I were to leave and then come back to San Antonio. San Antonio is a small town. It's a big city, but a small town. And if you rub some people the wrong way, you're kind of screwed, right? So my thinking was, if I stay in San Antonio, build off of what I already have built off of, build those connections. Once I'm done playing football, which I knew I was going to be done playing, those connections that I do have, I think a lot of people like that I stayed here are willing to help me out. I feel like if I would have left and then came back and, if I ever needed help for some people, they may have been like, the first opportunity you got to leave for a better opportunity, you're quick to jump ship. But I think me staying here just shows, the type of person that I am. And I think it speaks a lot of volume to a lot of the, I would say, quote unquote, important people in San Antonio. So I just thought it was just best for me. And I try to tell those kids that all the time, build relationships with people the places that you are at, because one day football is going to be over, even if you do go play 10 years in the league. And those relationships that you build, can always last forever. And I feel like, me showing that I'm a good person, I feel like that, my legacy will always live on based off of me being a good person and not what I did in the football field.
Great stuff from the new San Antonio Sports Hall of Famer, Frank Harris, as he will be going in later this year into the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame. Very deserved of the UTSA quarterback, a legend in his own right. And that right there lets you know exactly he saw the big picture in what staying in a city means for his future and how he can best brand himself moving forward. And love that he's trying to preach that it's not all only about the money when it comes to these new college athletes in this NIL world. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. You can catch that full interview in our AA Best Bail Bonds audio vault at sasportstar.com if you want to catch the full thing, or our interview with Jimmy Fagan a little bit earlier this afternoon. But when we come back, it is post Super Bowl. The NFL season has officially come to its close, but the storylines persist. What are some of the storylines as the season ends? Well, the Morning Huddle was talking about. We'll bring it to you next, right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Hump day on the Morning Huddle, and the Spurs back in action, kicking off the rodeo road trip. How'd they do against the Lakers, and how will they do against Golden State?
The work continues for the Cowboys. They got to stock the fridge with a bunch of new defensive coaches and talent. We'll talk about how they're going to get there and so much more. It's going to be a fun time. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Find LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin, known for top performance, durability, and innovative features, and ideal for tough tasks like mowing, tilling, plowing, and hauling. LS Tractors are your reliable choice for farm, ranch, and landscaping needs. Experience unmatched dealer support at Dietz Tractor for parts and maintenance. They're not just selling tractors, they're building lasting relationships. Take advantage now. 0% financing available with approved credit on LS Tractors at Dietz Tractor in Seguin. LS Tractors, start blue, stay blue. Dietz Tractor.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Deep discounts on home updates are arriving at Macy's stores right now. Come in for huge President's Day deals, like 20 to 65% off a total bedroom refresh. Think Sealy and Beauty Rest mattresses, warm, cozy comforter sets, and so much more, all for up to 65% off. And then you can splurge on something extra fun, like 30% off a new pair of Levi's. See you at Macy's President's Day sale tomorrow. Savings off select prices. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead? Guilty.
Wait, what? Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly with nationwide 5G because Cricket is on the AT&T network. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
If society collapsed tomorrow, how long would your family last? If you run out of food, probably not very long. That's why over 3 million American families trust My Patriot Supply for preparedness. Right now, you can get their best-selling 3-month food kit for $100 off. It's 3 months worth of real, hearty meals that give you 2,000 calories a day and last up to 25 years. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com to get your 3-month kit for $100 off. The discount won't last long, so go to MyPatriotSupply.com today. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
94.1 FM.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Appreciate y'all riding along with me tonight as we take you up till 7 o'clock. The NFL season is officially at its close. And what that means for us is we start looking to the 2026 NFL offseason and how teams can match where both the Patriots and Seahawks ended up getting this year, which is to the Super Bowl as teams start to make those plans. And we start looking at some of those post Super Bowl storylines for teams. Earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle, Rob and AJ breaking down some of those storylines as we head out of the 2025 season into the 2026 offseason and beyond.
Did you see the news out of the NFL that Jim Schwartz resigned? That happened.
Not that we
late
didn't see
last
this
week.
coming.
And they are now in full-blown interview mode. I don't know what's going to happen with Jim Schwartz. They say they expect him to sit out the 2026 season. So, which is unfortunate because, again, I think he is very, very good. But he's under contract.
What'll happen is he'll be a consultant for Saban. You know what I mean?
Work.
He'll end up being something like that. That brain
Except
will
Saban's
be used.
not a coach.
Well, I mean, I'm saying what. But you remember how Saban would rehab everybody?
Yeah.
They'd show up as consultants while they were still under contract. That brain of his, that defensive mind is going to be utilized. Now, it might not have a title in front of it, but he's going to be living somewhere, getting paid to be a defensive consultant somewhere because he's a top 10 DC in the NFL. He's that good.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. So Cleveland now seeking a new defensive coordinator, doing their interviews. They're also trying to find an offensive coordinator because Tommy Rees, who was the Browns OC last year, is now the OC in Atlanta under Kevin Stefanski.
The only way he could get another OC job is to be with the guy that hired him the first time.
Which, by the way, I'm not really sure that's a smart move. Like, it seems odd that.
Well, the way I look at it is you managed to squeeze some juice out of Shedeur Sanders, so you can do something.
Did you?
Well, yeah. I mean, he did win a game.
Okay.
I mean, that's not that easy to do in the NFL. I mean, and he did it with Shedeur Sanders as a quarterback, so I'll give him a little bit of credit.
You might want to look at that defense.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
I assure you, Shedeur Sanders didn't do anything.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm saying, look, at least you did that. I mean, you didn't have a lot to work with, but you won an NFL football game with Shedeur Sanders as your quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm hiring you as my OC because of that. But who knows? Maybe it's a guy he trusts at least. We'll see how it works out.
Think about what Michael Penix could become.
Oh, yes. He could become Shedeur Sanders just like that.
At the minimum.
Just like that. He could become the next Shedeur Sanders.
You don't see true talent.
That's
it's
what
not
we're all
shining the pretty diamond. It's making that rock you found look good.
The rock you found on the side of the road.
Shine that.
Because you ain't got a
diamond.
diamond. Over here, we don't have a diamond. We got this other thing. We're gonna need you to make it work. Good luck. Good luck with that. And one of the I guess we don't have a whole lot more NFL to talk, but did you see Drake May was left in tears? There was a lot of like he held it together during the press conference, but apparently was like bawling afterwards.
Why?
Just because he lost.
Just because he lost. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Now I am not going to give him any leeway on this. Oh, my shoulder. No. But I had to get a shot before the game.
I let my team down.
You know, I mean,
my boy Blue.
Maybe get the ball out, and your shoulder wouldn't hurt as much. But there are people now discussing of whether or not Drake May hit a wall. Like if this is kind of exposed Drake May, because 2 months ago we were talking about Drake May like he's going to be the next guy in this conversation.
I still don't think I haven't changed a lick.
Okay.
Why would we change? Because on the 19th game he played this year, he had a bad one.
Well, he had a bad one in every playoff game he played this year.
I mean, but they still won. I still believe his arc to success is right on schedule. Everything that happened this year was gravy. This is his second year. He's ahead of schedule. He ain't behind. He had plenty of opportunity to completely blow it in the playoffs, and he didn't.
later, after composing himself, he said, if you don't make plays, you end up crying at the podium.
Truth.
And they said that he had a long conversation with Vrabel, said, I know he's had some turnovers, but he can't let that be something that affects him. He needs to be aggressive, but not reckless. That's how we all need to approach this game. And they said, and Vrabel was very defensive of him, saying, hey, man, this loss isn't on him. We believed in him the whole way. But
you got to go through this, man. You got to scar up. Nobody gets to be a superstar all the time.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I mean, this is just part of the maturation of any human being. When you're young, you're going to swing and miss. I mean, that's just part of life. And we knew it was coming. It comes for everybody. You can't run a heater like this when you haven't checked all the boxes off yet. And there's still things he had to learn, and he just got to jump around some of the things that eventually came back to haunt him. And one of them was, when you got 5 guys in your face, you're going to have to adjust your game plan. And he never could adjust. So he knows what he got to work on. I get the sadness, but I'm not down on him at all. Not at all.
But he also plays in a conference where
it's not going to be easy.
Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow live, and Justin Herbert.
All I do for him is, man, I'm going to show you film of a bunch of other dudes that had a great year out of nowhere and what it looked like for them the next year. So you're going to watch a lot of Jaden Daniels film. I'm going to let you see what the Texans offense looked like when everybody keyed in on a kid that had some miracle games. You got to learn to overcome and be a different dude, a better dude. You can't rest on these laurels. And you got some prime examples that just came through. Even though you might get better, your team's going to go through it, man. It's only going to get harder now. Stop your crying and get back to work, because there's a lot more work to be done. And now we know you can do it. So the expectations now are doubled.
It is. And here's the thing. You look at it, they need to reinforce that offensive line to best protect Drake May, to keep him from collapsing backwards. You saw it with CJ Stroud. He regressed after his offensive line completely failed him in year 2, and he looked shook in year 3, not trusting that line fully, even though it was better than the previous year. It's Jaden Daniels. I mean, they went out and got a Laramie Tunsil to try and protect his blind side, but he still dealt with injuries all year long from his running the football. And so Drake May is going to have to take care of himself in order to best protect him, not just himself when he takes off and run, but the offense itself has to find ways to protect him. And I think, look, they got into a rhythm in the middle of the season when Travion Henderson was touching the ball a lot within the flow of a football game. In the postseason, it's like they stopped trusting him for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because he's a rookie or what, but as much as he performed in the middle of the season and getting them on this roll, they continually pulled away and away and away from Travion Henderson's workload. And I know some of that had to do with Ramondre Stevenson's injury, but hell, they look like a better team with Travion Henderson for most of this year being a featured back than they did with Ramondre Stevenson. And they got to find a way to incorporate Travion Henderson more. I don't think it has to be 50-50. Hell, I don't think he needs to be the quote unquote lead back if you want, but he's got to find a way to get more touches than he got in this postseason, because he is a weapon. He is something that they could utilize both in the screen and the passing games, as well as the run game. He is explosive and has a gear that Ramondre Stevenson doesn't. And it was something they were obviously lacking in a lot of these postseason games, as they had no explosive plays outside of Kayshon Boutte. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, the great mother football, Shereen Williams, ended up joining the Blitz a little bit earlier today as they reminisce about the Super Bowl, the voting process of the Hall of Fame, and if it could be under consideration for some changes in the near future, and what the future of the Dallas Cowboys this offseason can look like with Jerry Jones' most recent comments. That's all coming up with Mother Football from Pro Football Talk. Shereen Williams, right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Arasti, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action because you can make those picks and win money right now here in Texas. And it's so easy. You pick your favorite players. Are they going to go higher or lower on their stats? Points, rebounds, steals, three-pointers made, whatever it is, you get your picks right. You're going up to 5,000 times your cash. I'm still riding De'Aaron Fox. He's become a great part of this offense. Always a good look for higher with De'Aaron. Download the app today. Use my promo code Alamo. You'll get $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Alamo. Underdog. Make picks and win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
If you haven't checked out the new Novo Brazil Brewing Company attached to North Star Mall, what are you waiting for? We're talking craft beers and kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, 8 massive LED screens. This is San Antonio's newest sports watching destination. It's Novo Brazil Brewing Company's first Texas location and is conveniently attached to North Star Mall and open late hours to serve you. Fresh Novo Poke Nachos, Picanha Prime Sirloin, burgers, and more. Novo Brazil Brewing Company. Go to novobrew.com. That's NOVObrew.com.
Everyone says time is money. Time is not money. Money is better than time. You know what's better than money? More money. That's how we're changing the game at GiveMeTheVin.com. We're giving you more money for your car. It's a big transaction. We're important to that transaction. GiveMeTheVin.com. If we don't beat a CarMax offer, I'll send you a check for $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocation, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax free edition only. Roughly 37% of filings qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercial.
And to get TurboTax free edition, see if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we're on the road again. We're at Novo Brazil Brewery, attached to North Star Mall.
We have Jelly Roll and Post Malone tickets to give away, but you have to come to Novo to register to win those things.
And we'll talk about what the Spurs did against the Lakers and look forward to the Golden State Warriors.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And you heard the man. Join them at Novo Brazil Brewing Company, attached to North Star Mall tomorrow from 2 to 6. Not only is it cool to just go see Jason and Joe live, the food is great. And they're giving you a chance to win tickets to go see Jelly Roll and Post Malone in Waco at McLean Stadium coming up May 19th. So if you want to go see Posty, and I think you do if you've seen the resale on these tickets, you're going to want to get out to Novo Brazil Brewery and Company tomorrow. It is attached to North Star Mall. They will be there from 2 to 6. Get yourself registered. You don't want to miss this opportunity. You're only going to have a couple this week to be able to win tickets to that. So make sure that you get yourself out there to Novo Brazil Brewing Company attached to North Star Mall. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I'm James Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Speaking of the Blitz, earlier today, they were talking about, well, what we saw from the Super Bowl. And look, is a bunch of people have talked about the Super Bowl and how bad it was, how much of a letdown it was, and, you know, no storylines going into it, how much of kind of a dud it kind of was. Well, it was the second most watched Super Bowl of all time with 125 million viewers. So everybody can talk about the narrative that surrounded it. Eyeballs tuned in. Sam Darnold, Drake May, the next. Sam Darnold, the redemption. It was a good enough story for 125 million to become the second most watched Super Bowl. That's pretty dang impressive. Speaking of which, Shereen Williams was at the Super Bowl. As a matter of fact, she joined Radio Row last week. If you missed any of our Best Bail Bonds big game coverage presented by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds and Smoky Mo's Barbecue, well, just go to our YouTube channel. It is right here. If you're watching me on YouTube, after the show's over, you can go check it out. All of our interviews are there if you want to check it. So go there. But today, Shereen joined to talk about what happened at the Super Bowl and, most importantly, what happened with the Pro Football Hall of Fame voting, and are there changes in store for it?
Well, the offseason is underway. The Super Bowl is over. Offseason is underway. And looks like, at least baby steps, Jerry Jones is doing some things maybe a little bit different. We can only help. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix.
And let's talk about it with the great Shereen Williams from ProFootballTalk.com joining us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Although, Shereen, before we get into what the Cowboys offseason could look like, because we've got weeks to talk about that, talk to you in San Francisco there on Radio Row. I just want to get your thoughts with all the noise about the Hall of Fame voting process. After the class was announced, what was the reaction you as a voter were hearing from Hall of Famers, from other voters, and just in general what you were hearing around San Francisco?
Yeah, I think everybody was pleased with the class aside from the one glaring omission, and it was glaring. And, you know, I wish I could say that it didn't overshadow those who did get in because they deserve their moment, especially a guy like Roger Craig who's waited 28 years for this. But yeah, I think it was a good class. I just wish, Bill Belichick was going in with them. If he was, I would say this is one of the better classes we've had in a really long time. Just some greats, and I think you'd see a great turnout for it. I still think you'll see a great turnout, but I just think if Belichick was there, it would be something special. But he's not, and so I imagine that he'll be in the class of 2027. But we'll see what happens there. But for now, it is what it is with the class that we have. But pretty darn good class. Anytime you have skill position players, I think that is kind of a more sexy class, so to speak, than sometimes when we don't. Like last year's was hard, to be honest, for me to get up for.
Shereen, I saw something, an article, I don't know, a day or two after the class was announced that said there could be some changes in the voting. Have you heard anything about that? And would you be in favor of something like that?
Well, I think the process has to change. I think probably some voters have to change after what's transpired. It's up to them what they do, what they want. And there was a reason they went to this format of voting, especially when we're talking about the contributor, coach, and the seniors all in the same pool. And you pick 3 of the 5. In the last 2 years, we've gotten one of those in. Last year it was Sterling Sharp. This year it was Roger Craig. So it's obvious that the coach and the contributor are going to have a hard time getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as it stands now. And so I don't even know why you would continue to have those categories if they're not going to go in. Just put them in with lump them in, just pick 3 out of those 5 and make them, 3 finalists, or, put them with modern era, whatever you want to do, which is what they used to be. But I just don't know that the coach and contributor, and I do think Belichick goes in next year, but after that, I don't know. I mean, Mike Homer didn't get in last year. Buddy Parker didn't get in the year before. So I just think that coach and a contributor are going to have a really tough time getting into the Hall of Fame the way it is right now. But I do think there has to be changes. I think there will be changes. Now, I don't know if those changes will be – it's going to be a tight timeline. And I also think that they've approved this thing for 3 years, the format the way it is. So I'm not sure these changes are going to be for the class of 2027. I think it may be more for the class of 2028. But again, I don't know. I'm purely speculating as everyone else is, other than what we've heard from Jim Porter, who's the president of Pro Football Hall of Fame.
When you think about what Jim Porter has said, do you as a voter have any input on the process, or you're just given the marching orders and the bylaws and you're a voter and that's all it is?
Well, I'm going to sit down this week and I'm going to send out a long email for, what I would propose if it was up to me, and they will listen. And we always have a post Zoom call, so to speak, a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks after the announcement of the class. So I imagine that we're going to do that in the next couple of weeks. We will maybe either before the combine or after the combine meet, and we'll get our say in the meeting. I would propose, alternating however you do it. And I don't think there's that many contributors, but maybe go coach, senior contributor, or something like that over a 5-year period, like some sort of rotation. If you're worried about the class size, and then just vote yes or no on if it's 2 seniors, 1 senior, whatever you want to make it. Just vote yes or no, up or down on those categories, and make it easier for those to go in, and then maybe keep modern era the way you have it now, with you vote down to 7 and then vote 5 of the 7. And I think, probably transparency is probably coming to find out how everyone voted in the final vote. I think that's probably going to be something that's going to be discussed as well. But there will be a discussion, and we'll see if they listen. But ultimately, it's up to them to set the rules, and we follow the rules. And if you don't like the rules, then you get off the committee. I've been on it 20 years and have seen numerous changes to the process and the way they do things, and numerous changes to the selectors and the number of selectors. So whatever they want to do, I'm sure I will remain on the committee. If they want me on the committee, I'm sure I will remain on the committee. I'd like to stay on at least until Jason Witten and hopefully Darren Woodson get into the Hall of Fame. I really want to see that happen. And as long as they aren't in the Hall of Fame, I would really like to stay on and be a proponent for those 2 guys.
Shireen Williams of Pro Football Talk earlier today on the Blitz. You can catch that in our audio vault, powered by Best Bail Bonds at sasportstar.com. Shireen and all of our guests join via the Buyers Barricades guest line, who provide traffic rental and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. I think changes are coming to the voting process. I do. I think that they're going to have a long, hard look in the mirror this season, and we will see some changes in the near future, because what happened this year more than any felt so wrong. And the fact that we're looking at people like Roger Craig and being like, should you have gotten in over these players, is kind of a travesty to what's supposed to be this week is about, which is celebrating these people who are getting in the Hall of Fame instead of punching holes in their resume because someone with an obviously more impressive and resounding resume did not get in ahead of them. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger, right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM and sasportstar.com. When we come back, there is a surprise entrant into the NBA's three-point contest this weekend, and it's a surprise because I don't think anybody expected him to do anything this year, much less be competing in an event as he continues to rehab from what was a devastating injury. We'll discuss it next right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Monday, March 30th at the Golf Club of Texas. Get your slot now. $150 per person or $500 per foursome. The Spring Golf Classic, benefiting fitting animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, is presented by Flight by Yingling, sponsored in part by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and Encira.com. The Spring Golf Classic, Monday, March 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Texas is leading America again, and John Lujan is a big reason why. Working side by side with Governor Greg Abbott, Representative John Lujan helped bring high-paying jobs home and strengthen Texas's energy dominance. Now, John Lujan is ready to bring the Trump agenda home to Texas. That means fighting for affordability, higher-paying local jobs, and lower federal taxes for working families. It means defending Texas energy, protecting oil and gas jobs from failed liberal policies, and keeping America #1 in energy production. It means securing our border, making President Trump's border policies permanent, crushing the cartels, stopping fentanyl, and ending human trafficking. And it means rebuilding our military. No social experiments, no distractions, just the strongest, toughest fighting force on earth. Conservative John Lujan is the only candidate endorsed by the San Antonio Express News, Texas Alliance for Life, and Governor Greg Abbott. On March 3rd, vote Republican John Lujan for Congress. Abbott, Trump, Lujan, a tough team for Texas.
Political ad paid for by John Lujan for Congress.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Always appreciate y'all riding along with me every evening, including this evening right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM. I think it was a surprise to all of us late yesterday when it came out that Dame Lillard, who is rehabbing from a torn Achilles, will be participating in All-Star Weekend in the three-point contest. It's not just him. I was shocked to see Jason Tatum's going to go to Green Bay, Boston's G League affiliate to kind of start to ramp things up. It's very interesting to see now. With Tatum, it looks like a return to play type thing for Dame Lillard. it seems like he just wants to compete in the All-Star festivities, which is a little weird on its face. The Morning Huddle, AJ and Rob talking about it this morning.
Dame Lillard is going to be in the three-point shootout?
It's not unprecedented.
Really? Guy who hasn't played a game all year?
Craig Hodges played in the three-point, and he wasn't even in the league.
Bro.
Why? How does that happen?
I mean, it's the All-Star game. What, there's laws?
I mean,
you can just decide. Magic played when he had full-blown diagnosis of HIV when we didn't have a cure. I mean, and he hadn't played all year long. This is just a celebration. This is nothing that other than, yeah, sure, come on and play.
The guy is, so here's what happened. He said it started off as a joke. He was talking to a marketing executive for the NBA who he's friends with, named Michael Levine. And he said he was going on vacation for the All-Star break, but if y'all need a body, I'll shoot in the three-point contest. And he said Levine was incredulous, but told him the league had already secured its three-point field. So he said, well, we've already got enough guys. We can't do it. And he was like,
then a suit heard and said, wait, I can attach Dame Lillard's name to this?
Well, he said, he was like, oh, that would be awesome. And we kind of joked about it and left it at that. Late last week, Levine called Lillard and said, we had a competitor drop out.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, would you really do it? And Lillard said, yeah.
Why not?
So they called the Portland GM, Joe Cronin, and said, hey, would you give your blessing on this? And this is a guy he's won the contest twice already.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I'll do it. So
that's the reason Hodges got to do it. He had won it. He was just out of the league. Nobody wanted him at that moment.
The field, Dame Lillard, Devin Booker, Con Kneifel, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, Bobby Portis, and Norman Powell shooting threes.
One of these things is not like the other. What the hell is Bobby Portis doing on that list?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Con Kneifel being the only white guy.
He'd probably be the most likely. The one, if you'd have had him line up, the one I'd have picked would have been him.
Pasty white guy? Oh, that guy can stroke.
It's inevitably. You see a mid-sized white dude on a team, that guy get buckets. That guy can shoot. But no, Bobby Portis. But
yeah, he did say
it adds some flavor. I'm all about it.
He said the All-Star weekend needs stars.
Yes.
And people want to see stars competing. He says he's also looking for something to break up the monotony of rehab.
Maybe I thought he'd be making music, spitting bad rhymes.
Maybe, yeah. He says, I need some competition. He said, I've been working out, not playing, so I need some type of competition. I just need a bump, which I get that. Like I have a hard time being serious about working out if I'm not competing. Like that is just, there's some people whose mindsets fall into that. Like some people can just go to the gym and make a workout a part of their routine. But like for me, if I don't have some kind of a goal that I'm working towards or someone that I'm trying to beat, I have a hard time or
the $40 million a year you're going to get paid to do that.
That also.
That does help.
But Lillard says he also likes the idea of doing something no one else has done.
Well, someone has done it.
In 2014, Lillard was the first player to compete in the slam dunk, three-point, and skills challenge and the All-Star game.
That's true.
He says, I got to keep, doing what Dame does. Whatever's typical, I do the opposite.
Did he throw in a third-person reference?
Yes.
Good for him.
Yes. That's what Dame does. He says, I can do a lot. That's where I'll put it. As far when he was talking about his rehab, he says shooting's not going to be a problem. He said, I'm running my own race. If I was 23, 24, 25, I'd probably be more competitive about who's doing what. But I know where I am physically. I can feel it. I'm on the court every day. And to me, it's not about, am I going to be back before Jason Tatum? After the season, I'm going into a full summer to get ready for next season. I want to make sure that I'm 1,000%. I can play every year for the rest of my career as the best version of myself. So I'm not in a hurry, especially knowing I've got time. That's the game I'm playing. So he's basically saying I've got no interest in coming back to play this year.
Neither does the Bucks.
No, the Blazers. Yeah,
they have no interest in him coming back either.
And look, good for Dame. It's going to be very interesting seeing him. And look, 3-point contest. It's not like he's putting a lot of stress on that Achilles, and he should be far enough in his rehab process that this should not be an issue. I imagine he is shooting every day. So having a name in the game is good for the game. It'll bring eyeballs and attention to it, especially in a weekend that doesn't have a lot of names. And, Matt McClung said he wasn't going to be in the dunk contest, and all of a sudden is in the dunk contest. So it's going to be good to at least bring a spark to All-Star Saturday night, I think, which is going to need it, especially with Jimmy Butler, no Steph Curry now. People are falling out of the All-Star game left and right, and they need some stars to participate in All-Star weekend outside of Victor Wembanyama. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure. Thanks for joining me this evening. Remember to call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what people are going through in life, and a simple "Hey, how are you doing?" can fix everything. Don't forget, start your morning with Rob and AJ in the morning, 6 a.m. Jason and Joe live out at Novo Brazilian Brewery tomorrow from 2 to 6 with your chance to win Post Malone and Jelly Roll tickets. That is from 2 to 6. And then, of course, close out your night tomorrow night with me right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Till then, we'll see you tomorrow.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally